Okay, a very good afternoon, okay, to all. Okay, today we will look into the topic that I will be presenting with my colleague, okay, Mr. Justin. Okay, so first and foremost, let me introduce myself. Okay, my name is Haryati. I'm one of the senior lecturer from the Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism from the School of Hospitality. Along with me today would be Mr. Justin. Uh, Lecture from the F&B side. So I have a slide that I will actually share with you guys. Um, okay, so this will be what we will be presenting. Okay, um, niche career within the hospitality industry. First and foremost, okay, I would like to welcome to everyone that currently listening to the session. First and foremost, let us look into the hospitality industry. So why we came to look into this? This is just because of hospitality is a particular industry that will give an essence to most of the well-established industry in the world. So I would elaborate a bit more on that later. So what is hospitality carries is basically more advanced opportunities, a fascinating industry where you'll be facing new things every day. It will not be the same. And of course, it is a fun industry. So when we talk about fun, it is also something that you will not get bored, okay, because it is not a particular day-to-day routine. Okay, you'll be meeting different people, different problems to solve. Okay, and definitely the last part is competitive pay. Okay, so if we were to look into the real aspect of hospitality industry, it is actually a genuine act to serve people, okay, without being forced. So helping to accommodate people needs and wants, and it is by right a friendly gesture that allows a pleasant favorable environment. So in that particular point, what we keen to look at is how we able to address people as it is, and be able to uh, put in a particular point where we able to think from their end, from their side. So we keen to uh, want to have that assurance where they are being well taken care of. So this is to look into the aspect of hospitality. Okay, and further to that, in this particular current condition, okay, there is a demand in hospitality industry over time. So next, we will look at the spirit of hospitality. So we will look into hospitality will create memories, each following time where there is an aspect of a customer meeting up with a server or a particular guest walk in a particular hotel. Every single aspect of that following will create memories. And of course, this hospitality industry requires passion. So people who have the passion to serve people willingly, there would be a great hospitality personnel, and of course a better chance of a particular wow factor experience. So as I mentioned earlier, day-to-day basis it will not be the same, so we will meet a lot of new people, a lot of new experience, so a lot of element of surprise will be there. It could be good, it could be bad. By the end of the day, it will give a pleasant memory. And of course, a particular hospitality personnel need to have spirit to serve. And last but not least, whatever that we do, we will focus on the guests. So we will look into from their aspect what they need and what they want. Okay, and focusing on the topic, niche career. So of course, we will look into high income potential. And of course, it's not focusing just on lodging, accommodation, but currently we can look into the aspect of all customer service related. So it could be tourism, it could be restaurants, of course, in F&B side, food and beverage, or it can also be reflected in such, okay, a particular career that deals with people. Okay, even in hospital currently, we are facing this issue, okay, or COVID-19. Uh, Basically, what we would look into it is to do with how we serve people. So without hospitality, there's no element of serving. Okay, and of course, current condition of utilizing high technology. For example, if I were to give an example a bit on hotel industry nowadays, we implement using artificial intelligence. So we use kiosks, we use non-existent human to actually replace the task of human, but still we need to have an expert to operate them. So we still need to accommodate this hospitality personnel. And of course, more field of the following in the industry requires hospitality graduates because they are trained to be a particular person that able to take care of people, take care of guests. Okay. And of course, skills of hospitality personnel would require a particular person to have a spirit of serving. And of course, they need to be a multitasker. Okay, so in a way, they need to be able to fit in whatever task being given. So not just only catering for the guests, but we also look into a consideration of what we able to help. Okay, and of course, teamwork, it is a must. Okay, and of course, the word flexible there means that there's no specific time of work, especially in hotel industry. In most of the related field of hospitality, we don't really keen to have a very decent 9 to 5 job. Okay, this is due to the fact we would look into shift work. So at a particular point, sometimes on Sunday or even on Saturday, we need to work. So this is more to flexibility. In a way, it gives goodness because we able to have a point where our free day or holiday would falls on a weekdays. So we able to do things that is usually cannot be done in that particular following weekends. Okay, and of course, as I mentioned, job scope, it is not really reflecting to a condition where you would do one task only. So an example, if you are to be assigned in front office, okay, of course, definitely you have to do the job of front office, but in other way, you also need to know bits and pieces of housekeeping, let's say in hotel. Okay, so this is to be able for you to answer any pertaining question from the guests that actually walking in the hotel. And of course, most of the hospitality personnel would need to have a good idea in paying attention to details, even the slightest details. Okay, so this is where we able to connect with the guests much more thorough. And of course, they need to be updated and aware with the trends in industry. And of course, definitely time management and the skill of communication. It's a must. Okay, so in a bigger scope, when we talk about hospitality in terms of the niche aspect, so we are looking at all these aspects of the industry. So travel and tourism, lodging, assembly, event management, restaurant management, recreational, even gaming. Okay, and all of the following, as I mentioned in my previous statement just now, in terms of what hospital. Okay, hospital do also cater for people who have the aspect of being trained in hospitality because of course we need somebody that able to get in touch with patient, with customer. Okay, so other aspect, as I clearly mentioned, in hotel industry, so we are looking at front office, we are looking at room division, we are looking at housekeeping. Okay, and definitely again, not just only that, we also need to cater for managed service. So this more towards F&B side, a particular detail like in cafeteria, in hostels. Okay, or in any business and industry segmentation of food and beverage. Okay, and definitely not to forget F&B, restaurant business. So we are catering for fine dining, cafe, any pertaining outlet, family restaurants, fast food would also cater for hospitality personnel. Okay, so these are all the components of the industry. So food and beverage service, lodging service, recreation service, campground and theme parks, travel related service, gaming industry, product provided with the personnel service. And at some point, okay, if we were to look into having a degree in hospitality, this would be an area where you'll be able to venture. Okay, air cabin crew, customer service manager, fire risk assessor, okay, human resource officer, marketing executive, retail manager, tour manager, tourism officer, sales representative, and not to forget public relation executive. And what if, okay, you want to venture a bit on non field, non related degree. Okay, so this would be the whole idea of the perspective. Okay, um, so I think at that point, maybe my colleague, Mr. Justin, want to add something?
Yeah. After listening to what is being presented. Actually, when it comes to the general part of the hospitality management, a lot of people might think that you're working long hours, you're getting very, very low pay in terms of the payment side. If you look at one of the last slide on the salary in the hospitality industry, uh, the average right now for a lot of staff, for multi-skill staff, they are getting actually 3,000 to 3,500 in a monthly basis. Of course, we are talking about those that working in F&B part, and then including their OT and so on. Is actually not that low pay to start in the industry itself. When it comes to the variation of the lowest minimum pay and the maximum pay in the hotel industry, is actually very, very big itself. uh, Imagine that now a reception or a food server you are getting like 2,000 to 3,000 a month. But when you proceed to advance from your opportunity in your career, you become a duty manager, you become a hotel manager, is jumping up to 5,000, 6,000, 8,500 for like 3 to 4 star hotel. If you are actually a general manager in a 5 star hotel, you might even get up to 20 over thousand ringgit in a month. That actually killed one of the myth that a lot of people is thinking that working in hospitality industry is always very, very low pay. You just have to hold on to it, work all your way up to the top, and then you might actually get a very, very good a salary on that. And another thing that we need to add on right now is hospitality is no longer a what they call a cheap job, cheap labor whatsoever. It's considered as a professional career right now in the for hotel industry. The reason why being is because we are dealing with human being. Most of our guests, they are, I mean, human being, as we all know. So we are providing service, we are providing experience to them by using our passion. There are a lot of limitless possibility in the hospitality industry. From having just a normal fine dining all the way now it advanced to what we call the molecular gastronomy, which not a lot of restaurants is using. Only like those that's really, really good, like 3 Michelin star, 2 Michelin star restaurants, they are using those technique for cooking and so on. So you can see that the limit does not limit us to be traditional, to be old school, classic. We can go all the way to the modern style. Uh, as we all see that the current industry from hotel industry are blooming, service line is blooming. Uh, like right now in the season of COVID-19, we can don't have a lot of things, but we cannot live without food. And that's the reason why a lot of restaurants are still doing delivery, they are doing takeaway for the customer to take it off. So you can see that the industry is actually part of essential service. Okay. So, like I said, why is it blooming? Is because most of the people nowadays are getting more sophisticated, I would say. So, when you become sophisticated, you actually wanted to take more experienced stuff. So that's the reason why a lot of people are spending a lot of money in the hotel industry right now to go to 5 star hotel, to go to fine dining restaurants, just to have themselves a good meal, a good experience during any of the time of the day. Okay, so not only the hotel industry is blooming, even restaurants is blooming right now, and I believe a lot of people over here they are starting to go to cafe. They go to bar, go to have a glass of nice cocktail, a glass of wine whatsoever. So you can see that the market is actually keep on growing. It's non-stop growing, and it won't be stopping here right now. Uh, that's one of the things. So I would like to talk about from general to niche. General, basically you are working like in a hotel, you're working as a front office person, you are working as a food server. When you go to niche market, basically is from a normal food server, you advance yourself to become like a bartender. You focus in the bar, and then probably from the bar you advance yourself to have more knowledge, so you go to become like a beverage manager. At the same time you learn yourself a little bit more skills on the wine side, you become a sommelier. So from general probably is a very, very, you need to be multitask, but as long as you keep on going, keep on growing yourself, when you become a sommelier, you can be actually working in a lot of things. Like for example, there's a lot of sommeliers around. They not only handle wines, they don't only handle serving a guest wine. They can also be a consultant, consultant to a certain restaurant, to a certain bar that they are planning to open, but focusing in wine. These are the people that we need to look for. So from general to niche, when you reach the niche part, there are actually a lot of benefits. Can just tell you that. Not only become probably a consultant, you can even become an entrepreneur when you are good enough in numbers. At the same time, you know how to manage uh, a bar, a restaurant, and a hotel. So that's the reason why we are saying that from general to niche, that niche career within the hospitality industry can bring you endless possibility and endless advancement opportunity in the industry itself. Okay, and then add on to the high technology that we are using. Vending machine nowadays are considered common. So right now you can even see some high tech technology that we are using. Digital literacy is the next trend. You know, yes, I believe that human touch in service is a must, but at the same time, technology thing, a digital literacy items that actually advance and smoothen the whole operations is very, very important as well. That's the reason why Alibaba had created a hotel that's purely based on robotic. Okay, and also if you go to Sydney, there's one restaurant. Uh, Everything is by iPad. Everything is by the service is actually by a belt. You order the food through iPad, and after that they'll send you the food through a belt, automatically stop in front of your table, and then you get your food. So technology actually plays a part for advancement of this industry. Okay. So other than that, I would say that at the end of the time, if you are studying hospitality, not necessary that you really end up in hospitality. I have a lot of friends becoming banker. I mean, not 100% banker, but they are working in a bank as a customer relationship manager. Uh, she is actually a tourism graduate, and then in the end, she became a customer relationship manager in a bank. And then I can even see some of my friends that at the end of the time came out. They became lecturer, just like me. Myself became an academician to get more knowledge, to share more industry details in depth to the student nowadays, so that in the future when they go out, they can become somebody else. As we all know that the next generation is going to be the future with technology in its hand, with a lot of advancement that they can do with technology. They can go sky high kind of achievement at the end of the time. Okay, so at the end of the time, like I said, not only you study hospitality, you end up in a hotel. You can become a sales and marketing executive. I have a classmate. Now he is actually a HR director, a group HR director, in fact, for Asia Pacific. So at the age of 30 over years or so, and then he is a group HR director for a group of hotels in Asia Pacific, including New Zealand and Australia. That's actually a pretty big achievement at the end of the time. Not only that, I have another friend that become an event organizer. He has his own event company. He's actually a culinary graduate. He's actually a hospitality but focused in kitchen. At the end of the time, he came out. He became a caterer. He became right now entrepreneur. He has his own company, and at the same time, he runs event. So there are a lot of job opportunity when you want to become at the end of your degree or your diploma in hospitality and tourism management, because hospitality and tourism is so big that almost every single industry has to involve them, and that's the reason why I say that uh, niche career within hospitality industry is really going to bring you far away. And at the end of the time, after you study your diploma and degree in hospitality, you don't only stay in Malaysia. Like other people said, that you only stay in hotel in Malaysia and so on. You know, I have a lot of classmates and students right now after they graduate, they went to Singapore. So they found the opportunity in Singapore itself. And then some of them even traveled further. They were in Macau, in China, in Dubai, in the United States, and also in United Kingdom in London. So not necessary that you study hospitality, you end up in your own country doing only hotel stuff. You know, you can actually join into a certain management trainee program that actually the hotel had designed. And after you complete the program, you can submit to transfer to another country, transfer to another hotel, or transfer to another department. So you can see that from one point A, after you graduate from point A, you can go to point B, point C, point D, point E, and even point F, probably all the way to point Z. If you have the opportunity, all you need to do is you just grab it. Okay, so uh, that's how you actually get all this opportunity itself. But at the same time, where there's a plus point, there's disadvantages. Disadvantages is like you have to work in hotel timing. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit longer, but you know sometimes working long in the industry will get you a lot of good memories. What you learn and what you actually see. You know, one of the opportunity that my classmate used to have when he was actually working in a hotel is he is like a translator for Korean. So he actually you know like a translator in between. So he met a lot of celebrities from Korea just to help them to do translation. So as you can see that you know at the end of the time, there are a lot of opportunities that you get. There's a lot of good things that you get. I would just say that. Okay. So other than that, you know, at the end of the time, all you need to do is you just focus on what you want to do after you graduate with a diploma or a degree in hospitality and tourism. Then the door is always open. You can become a lot of things. I have some friends that's actually a fast food restaurants manager right now. He handled one of the few outlets of McDonald's in Malaysia right now. And then another one is actually food service catering manager for KFC. So he works in the centralized kitchen. So you can see that opportunity is always there after you graduate from hospitality degree or diploma itself. So yeah, pretty much that's all that I can relate. But ultimately, at the end of the time, like I say, if you really do your focus very well, you know, you can be a consultant, entrepreneur, academic, and you know, a professional at the same time. So at the end of the time, uh, really depends on what you really want to focus. And I believe hospitality industry can actually give you the career path at the end of the time. All right. So that's all of comment from my side for this niche market that we can achieve by studying in hospitality and tourism in Malaysia itself. Thank you very much. So is there anything to add on from you, Miss Hayati?
Okay, good. That you highlight a lot of examples. Now, I came to remember I have one particular student of diploma in hospitality management. During that time, the program was called as hospitality management, diploma in hospitality management. This particular student walk in, she's from China, and the condition is when she walks in, she has an issue with English. So in a way, she has the issue in speaking. And further to that, okay, we from the side of school, we were quite skeptical and we were a bit worried in terms of how she able to cope. And lucky enough, okay, after 2 years and and a half of diploma, okay, she managed to complete. And then after being trained in such, after we able to move in a way, she able to apply for a job. And the good thing is she did not work in any hospitality segment, but it's more towards tourism segment. Okay, and she managed to go through a training of being a stewardess. Okay, for Emirates. And the best part is when most of her colleague being trained, especially from the side of servicing the passenger. Okay, she has developed a sense where she knows what she need to do. she able to um, showcase her ability more than her colleague. So in a way, okay, this will give better advantage. So why this thing happened? Because one thing about hospitality is where we train them as per what it is. We want them to know, not just only from the aspect of servicing, not just only from the aspect of housekeeping or front office, but we also mold them in a way where they able to relate themselves with other people's condition. So they are trying their best to put their condition in other people's shoes. So this is the best part. And this is what we want to emphasize on student. So when they graduate, at the end of the day, they're able to have that idea. Whatever they do, they need to think about who they are servicing. And that is something that is so crucial in hospitality. So as you clearly mentioned just now, Mr. Justin, in terms of the niche hospitality segmentation, if a particular hospitality personnel is creative enough, this particular hospitality personnel can actually survive in any condition at all. For example, okay, in this condition of COVID, okay, most restaurants to be forced to put a closure in terms of the serving side. But still, okay, whoever that outshine or creative enough, they can do indirectly food delivery. So the process of having that segmentation of hospitality is still there. So it is a never-ending thing, and it is basically the heart of any industry related to servicing the guest or the customer. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I totally agree with that. Because the skills that actually a hospitality personnel that need to focus a lot. Like you say earlier on, you need to have communication skill. You need to be practically and theoretically capable, and also in multitasking. Then at the same time, in hospitality industry, we develop a team spirit. We make them to realize that this is the next thing you need to do and how you need to do it. How you need to do it so good that it makes people feel that the experience is very very good. So the interpersonal and the intrapersonal skill of this individual that have in hospitality industry is totally different from those that are studying in a different school. Okay, so yeah, I believe that what you just say that is very very true. That and these people that actually trumped in the industry actually makes very very good advancement at the end of the time. Yeah. So I believe that's all from my side. Telling examples and good things about hospitality and also tourism uh, in the industry and how it works and how a niche market can help at the end of the time as well. So if any of you have any questions, please do not hesitate to type it out or to actually let us know. We are more than happy to answer that questions over here.
Talking about the niche career, okay, if we look into the current condition, okay, if I were to give an extreme example, I think without that um, implementation of hospitality, I do believe that we may not be able to accommodate people at this current condition. And further to that, if I may add, okay, even nowadays in this particular condition, some of the hotel, especially in Kuala Lumpur, willing enough to actually open their doors and to become part of the quarantine center. So again, that is also to reflect in such, okay, how big is the scale of hospitality industry is. So it can fit to any particular industry as long as the particular people that is in the industry able to accommodate people, able to serve people willingly.
All
Okay.
right.
Yes.
So I think the floor has no questions, and should we end the session?
Mm, I think so. I think we have elaborate the topic quite detailed. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, whatever it
So,
is, if let's say they are still having any question, please feel free to drop by or email us. Okay, I think you can go to the website, okay, berjaya.edu.my. Okay, yes, we will be able to accommodate any question in particular to this industry. Okay, and yeah, we would open our doors to receive all of you as student, basically.
Yep. So if there's no question, then I think we will end the session. And in the future, if you really, really wanted to know more about the industry, after the MCO has over, feel free to come to Berjaya. It's located at Berjaya Times Square, level 11, west side. So you can just drop by over there from Monday to Friday. And probably we will even open on Saturday. If you have any questions, you can drop by to Berjaya to have a little bit tour, so that you know more about hospitality as well. All right. So I believe that's all. Thank you very much for listening.